Hi, my name is Juan Jose Morales. I'm a graduate student at Georgia Tech, and this is my intermediate presentation for the class Educational Tech Foundations. For this class, my proposed work was to build a peer-to-peer platform similar to Chegg or tutorme.com, but I want to also integrate ITS systems into it and a bidding system for human tutors. And the idea behind integrating ITS and this bidding system is to drive the tutoring costs down in order to make this available to people who would not normally have access to tutoring services or who not be able to pay the rates that Chegg or tutorme.com charge. In addition, I want to integrate this platform with a popular messaging system like Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp. And the idea behind that is to help drive adoption and increase user experience, or make for a better user experience. So the scope of this work is very large for one semester. So my deliverable for this is just to provide a functional prototype of the platform, which would include the chatbot interface and web application interface, as well as a sample ITS and an ITS integration API. So for the intermediate milestone, I wanted to build a low fidelity prototype. So this is a high level architecture diagram of what I plan to build. So as you hear, there'll be a platform web application interface as well as a chatbot interface through Facebook Messenger. Both of these will leverage Facebook authentication to again facilitate user experience. And the idea is that there'll be the platform API that will service both of these systems, as well as a bidding service and an ITS service along with its integration services. So again, the use cases here are, I can either be looking for tutors through the messenger application, through the chatbot, or through the web application, or I would like to provide tutoring services, again, through either one of these user interfaces, right? For the first set of use cases where I want to get tutoring services, I would there's either the case that I'll get routed to another peer who can help tutor me, or there won't be anyone, and hopefully there'll be some ITS that's available. Or ideally there'll be both, right? There'll be peers and ITS available. And for the other, the other side of this, where I want to provide tutoring services, I can either, be a tutor myself and participate in the bidding process, or I can register an ITS that I build to, help people, to help tutor other people. So for the first low fidelity prototype is the chatbot prototype, and added in this document, which basically just outlines several interactions. I won't go through all of it, but going through the first one. So the case where you're a student and you want to find a tutor, and you're logged into Messenger. So you would go in, access the application. It would sort of introduce itself, tell you what it can do, help you find a tutor, help with a specific subject, or help you tutor someone, or take you directly to the web application. So I'm a student and I need help with math, so I would just write that. The chatbot would go ahead and look for tutors, and then it would tell you, all right, these are possible tutors. It'll have some default rate that is the result of whatever the bidding process was. And I'm saying 30-minute sessions, and 30 minutes is just a default minimum. Probably take some more research to figure out what a good default minimum is, but for the purposes of this prototype, I think 30 minutes just seemed good enough. So now, for a prototype of what the web application, here's a simple UI of what the UI would look like, and this would obviously be Facebook Messenger, but this is what the low fidelity prototype for the web application would be. So you go into the website and you would select same process. You would select some sort of subject that you need help with. Again, there'll be default 30 minutes, or you can choose a longer session. And you could be more specific about what you need help with. So after you input those parameters, you can go find a tutor. And you'll see, again, the same 3 tutors that the chatbot found. So let's say I want to get help from Bob because I've worked with him before. I would go here and it would take me to a shared tutoring space. Now, from the other side of this, I'm a tutor, so I wanna, let's say I go in and I want to register myself as a tutor into the system. So I would click here. It would ask me for some data about myself. Obviously, I would need to put in my name and some area of expertise, or the area where I want to help people at. And this is important because this is pretty much how this will enable or facilitate that pairing system. So when a student goes and selects, I want help with math, it should be able to look for people that can help with math. Ideally, I think there would be some sort of education requirement, maybe to be a tutor, and or some experience requirement, and some proof of that. There is also a default rate per minute. So there'll be the bidding system, and if you choose not to participate on the bidding system, then whatever default rate you specify here is whatever your bid will be. And obviously we need some proof of identity, so a license or some official document. So register here, and this is what my tutoring profile would look like. So let's say I've tutored in the past. They would show any sort of past tutoring sessions I've had, and it would show me any current tutoring requests, right? So if I want to see what the current requests are, I could see these 2 requests. Again, I could enter a bid. So if you see here, this first one, they're asking for 2 hours instead of 30 minutes, and I'm going to say I can help them for $35. Instead of my default rate. So I don't want to make a bid for this second one, and it'll just use that default rate, right? So now the other thing I should be able to do as a tutor is register an ITS, right? So in order to register an ITS, you need to input some data about the ITS, like its name, some rate. So the ITS itself will not be eligible to place bids, so it'll always use this default rate. And there'll be some, whatever the integration service will look like. This is the idea of how it'll work, right? You go in here, you have your ITS. It'll need to have some API in order for this to work. I don't know what that looks like yet, but that's what I'll work on for the rest of the semester. So once the ITS is registered, now you have both an ITS and human tutors, and that's the idea. That's the idea behind the platform. So again, this is a low fidelity prototype. I welcome any feedback, and thank you so much. I'll also make available all of these documents in case you want to inspect them with more detail. Thank you very much.